Have you ever made a decision that you thought was the right one at the time, only to realize later that it wasn't quite what you expected? Maybe it was a small choice, like trying a new recipe that didn't turn out as planned, or something much bigger, like moving to a new home. For many of us, as we get older, the idea of moving into a nursing home can seem like the logical next step. It promises safety, care, and a sense of community. But what if I told you that for some people, it's not always the golden solution they hoped it would be? In fact, there are some hard truths about nursing homes that many of us don't fully consider until it's too late. Today, I want to share with you 6 hard truths about moving into a nursing home. Things I wish I had known before making that decision myself. This isn't meant to scare you or discourage you from considering this option if it's right for you. Instead, it's about giving you the information and perspective you need to make the best choice for your own life. After all, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to something as important as where and how we live our later years. Let's start with the first truth: loss of independence. This is something that hits hard for many people who move into a nursing home. You see, no matter how well-intentioned the staff may be, the structure of a nursing home often means that your daily life becomes highly regulated. From mealtimes to activities, even when you can have visitors, much of your day is decided for you. For someone who's spent decades making their own choices, whether it's what to eat for breakfast or when to take a walk, this loss of control can feel incredibly stifling. I remember talking to a friend who moved into a nursing home, and she told me how much she missed being able to just wake up and decide how her day would unfold. It's like being a child again, she said, but without the joy of being a child. Now I know what you might be thinking, but isn't that the trade-off for having someone take care of you? And yes, there's some truth to that. But here's the thing, there are other options out there that allow you to maintain more independence while still getting the support you need. For example, in-home care or assisted living communities often provide a balance between assistance and autonomy. The key is to really think about how much independence means to you and whether you're willing to give that up. The second truth is something that's often overlooked, but can have a huge impact on your quality of life: the emotional toll of leaving your home. For many of us, our home is more than just a place to live. It's a repository of memories, a reflection of who we are. It's where we raised our families, celebrated milestones, and built our lives. Leaving that behind can feel like leaving a part of yourself. I've heard so many stories from people who, after moving into a nursing home, felt a deep sense of grief and loss. One gentleman I spoke to said, "It's like I left my heart back in that house. Every room had a story, and now those stories feel like they're slipping away." This emotional toll can be especially hard if the move feels sudden or forced, like after a health crisis. That's why it's so important to take the time to really process this decision, to say goodbye to your home in a way that feels meaningful. Maybe that means hosting one last family gathering, or taking photos of every room, or even writing down your favorite memories associated with each space. These small acts can help you carry a piece of your home with you, no matter where you go. Now let's talk about the third truth: the cost, financial and emotional. Nursing homes are expensive. There's no getting around that. Depending on where you live, the cost can easily run into thousands of dollars per month. And while some people have savings or insurance to cover these expenses, for many, it means dipping into assets they had hoped to leave to their children or grandchildren. This financial strain can create feelings of guilt or worry, which only adds to the emotional burden of the move. But the cost isn't just financial. There's also the emotional cost of feeling like a burden to your family, even if they never say it out loud. I've talked to so many people who've shared how much it hurts to feel like they're spending their kids' inheritance. And while it's true that your family wants what's best for you, It's also important to remember that your well-being is priceless. The key is to have open, honest conversations with your loved ones. Let's move on to the next hard truth: the impact on your social life. This is something that many people don't fully consider until they're already living in a nursing home. You might think, well, I'll be surrounded by people my age, so I'll have plenty of opportunities to make new friends. And while that's true to some extent, the reality is often more complicated. In a nursing home, your social interactions can become limited to the people who live and work there. For some, this can feel isolating, especially if you're used to a more diverse social circle. You might miss the casual conversations with neighbors, the regular visits from family and friends, or even the simple pleasure of going out to a favorite cafe or park. One woman I spoke to said, "I thought I'd be making new friends left and right, but it's not that easy. Everyone has their own routines, and it's hard to break into those circles." And then there's the issue of visitors. While many families have the best intentions, the reality is that visits can become less frequent over time. Life gets busy, and the distance, whether physical or emotional, can make it harder for loved ones to come by as often as they'd like. This can leave you feeling lonely, even in a place that's supposed to be full of people. That's why it's so important to think about how you'll maintain your social connections if you move into a nursing home. Can you set up regular video calls with family? Are there activities or groups within the home that you'd enjoy joining? These small steps can make a big difference in how connected you feel. The fifth truth is one that's often glossed over, but is absolutely critical: the quality of care. Now, I want to be clear. There are many wonderful nursing homes out there with caring, dedicated staff. But the sad reality is that not all nursing homes are created equal. Some are understaffed, which means that even the most well-meaning caregivers are stretched too thin. Others may lack the resources to provide the level of care that residents need and deserve. This can lead to everything from missed medications to longer wait times for assistance with daily tasks. I'll never forget the story of a man who moved into a nursing home after a stroke. His family chose the facility because it had a good reputation, but within a few months, they started noticing problems. My dad would call me and say he'd been waiting for over an hour just to get help going to the bathroom, his daughter told me. It broke my heart to think of him sitting there, feeling helpless. Stories like this are a reminder of how important it is to do your research before choosing a nursing home. Visit the facility, talk to current residents and their families, and ask tough questions about staffing levels and care protocols. It's your right to know what kind of care you'll be receiving. Finally, let's talk about the sixth truth: the loss of purpose. This is something that can creep up on you slowly, but it's incredibly powerful. For many of us, our sense of purpose is tied to our daily routines, our hobbies, and our roles within our families and communities. When you move into a nursing home, those roles can change dramatically. You might no longer be the one cooking meals, managing the household, or even making decisions about your own care. Over time, this can lead to feelings of uselessness or even depression. One gentleman I spoke to put it this way: "I used to feel like I had a reason to get up in the morning. Now it's like I'm just waiting for the next meal or the next activity. I miss feeling like I'm contributing something." This loss of purpose is something that many nursing homes are starting to address by offering more opportunities for residents to get involved, whether it's through volunteer programs, hobby groups, or even small tasks like helping to set the dining tables. But it's also something that you can take into your own hands. Think about what gives you a sense of purpose and how you can continue to pursue that, even in a new environment. Maybe it's writing letters to loved ones, teaching a skill to other residents, or simply sharing your stories and wisdom with those around you. As we come to the final part of our conversation, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we've covered so far. We've talked about the loss of independence, the emotional toll of leaving your home, the financial and emotional costs, the impact on your social life, the quality of care, and the loss of purpose. These are all significant factors to consider when thinking about moving into a nursing home. But now, I want to leave you with some final thoughts and practical advice to help you navigate this decision with confidence and clarity. First and foremost, it's important to remember that you have options. Moving into a nursing home is not the only choice available to you. There are alternatives like in-home care, assisted living communities, or even co-housing arrangements with friends or family members. Each of these options has its own pros and cons, and what works for one person might not work for another. The key is to explore all of your options and choose the one that aligns best with your needs, preferences, and values. If you do decide that a nursing home is the right choice for you, take the time to thoroughly research and visit potential facilities. Don't be afraid to ask tough questions about staffing levels, care protocols, and resident satisfaction. Talk to current residents and their families to get a sense of what daily life is really like. And trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. This is your life, and you deserve to be in a place where you feel safe, respected, and cared for. Another important step is to involve your loved ones in the decision-making process. This can be a difficult conversation to have, but it's crucial to ensure that everyone is on the same page. Share your thoughts, concerns, and wishes with your family, and listen to their perspectives as well. Remember, this is a team effort, and having the support of your loved ones can make the transition much smoother. Once you've made the decision, take steps to make the new environment feel like home. Bring along personal items that are meaningful to you: photos, keepsakes, a favorite blanket or chair. These small touches can make a big difference in helping you feel more comfortable and connected to your new surroundings. And don't be afraid to personalize your space. Many nursing homes allow residents to decorate their rooms, so take advantage of that opportunity to create a space that feels uniquely yours. Staying active and engaged is another key to thriving in a nursing home. Look for activities and programs that interest you, whether it's a book club, an art class, or a gardening group. If the home doesn't offer something you're passionate about, consider starting your own group or activity. Not only will this help you stay engaged, but it can also be a great way to build connections with other residents. Maintaining your social connections is equally important. Make an effort to stay in touch with family and friends, whether through regular visits, phone calls, or video chats. If possible, invite loved ones to join you for meals or activities at the nursing home. And don't forget to build new relationships within the home as well. Strike up conversations with other residents, join group activities, and be open to forming new friendships. These connections can provide a vital source of support and companionship. Finally, remember to give yourself grace during this transition. Moving into a nursing home is a big change, and it's normal to feel a mix of emotions: relief, sadness, anxiety, hope. Allow yourself to feel these emotions without judgment and seek support if you need it. Many nursing homes offer counseling services or support groups for residents, and there's no shame in reaching out for help. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. No matter where you live, your life is valuable, meaningful, and full of potential. Moving into a nursing home doesn't mean giving up on living a fulfilling life. It's simply a new chapter, one that comes with its own challenges and opportunities. By staying informed, proactive, and connected, you can make the most of this chapter and continue to thrive. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What's your perspective on this topic? Have you or a loved one faced this decision? Let's keep the conversation going. Here's to living your best life, no matter where you call home. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.